recently I've been thinking about, there's this saying, is never meet your heroes. And throughout my life, I've always heard that. I mean, even James May from, he was on Top Gear, now he's on the Grand Tour show. He's the one that does it with Jeremy Clarkson and Richard Hammond. Great show, check it out if you haven't. But he even talked about how this is kind of a weird example, but there was a Lamborghini car like from the 80s that he loved. He had a poster on his wall growing up. In all honesty, I think I had that same poster on my wall growing up, because I loved the Lamborghini. And I think it was it wasn't the Murcielago. I can't remember which one it was. There's so many of them. And he drove it, and he's like, it's hard to back up, it's hard to drive, the air conditioner doesn't work, blah, and all these issues that were with the car. At the end of it, he was like, never meet your heroes, because he got disappointed. He was really looking forward to it, and it disappointed him. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, who are my heroes and that I would like to meet? And I'm like, okay. And I was thinking, I know who my main hero, the person I would have loved to meet, the person I looked up to for the longest time. And but I started thinking about my heroes that I wanted to meet and the people that I really looked up to. And the sad thing is, I'll never be able to meet him because he passed away a number of years ago. And that's Carl Sagan. I've always been, well, let's start from the beginning, where I first learned about Carl Sagan. In 7th or 8th grade, I can't remember which one, because I went to a small school, and my science teacher, Mr. Skidmore, I really liked him. Great science teacher, very intelligent. A lot of people didn't like him. He wasn't, I don't know any people that could fill his class, because he was like, he would always say, if you write something down for an answer on a homework assignment, I don't care if it's wrong, I'll mark it right. I just want you to try. And some people took advantage of it. Some people, there were some people that would write down, my dog has fleas. And, but to get, so that everybody could get the right answer, is everybody would go to the board, and he'd get like 4 people to write their answer on the board. And then you go back to your seat, and then if you'd look, say, okay, is this right? And if it's correct, could talk about it and give why it's correct and everything. If it's wrong, and he wasn't doing it to shame people, what he was trying to do is say, okay, if somebody got this wrong, other people probably got it wrong. So he'd talk about it, show them the correct answer, how it was correctly done, and just give you more examples, talk about it. And it's a great way to do it. Now, there were times I couldn't figure things out, and I just wouldn't write anything down because I didn't know. And there were times I was called on to write that answer on the board. And if you told him that you didn't have the answer, you had to stand beside the board in front of the class. And, but somehow to me, that was less embarrassing than writing a wrong answer on the board. Don't really understand why I did that. A lot of people did that. A lot of people go, I wrote something down, but I don't think it's right. And they would erase what they had on their paper just so they wouldn't have to write it on the board. I don't know, I don't know. Kids are weird. I did it, a lot of people did it. But, let me actually raise my camera up a little bit. It seems to be too low. Okay, I think it's a little bit better. But also, he would show us these videos of various things. And I remember, I don't remember what grade it was in, if it was 7th or 8th. But I do remember him putting on Cosmos and showing us an episode from that. It was the first episode because I remember the whole thing about the crabs and the samurai faces and everything. And it really struck me. I mean, it was something that I was like, I've never seen anything like that before. It was, because I've always been a fan of math and science. I've always loved it. I've always enjoyed it. It's always brought me joy knowing how things work. And Mr. Skidmore was really good at showing us how to do that. He had projects like we built these bridges out of these, I can't remember what type of wood it was, but it's really kind of like really flexible wood. And we had these competitions of how to, which ones would take the most weight. And it drove me crazy because I got put into a group that all they wanted to do was just throw, like, here, let's just take all the wood and basically make a big block. Like, it'll be the best. And I was like, no, it won't. We can't do this. And I asked Mr. Skidmore, I said, please, can I get a different group? All they want to do is this. And then he was like, no, I really can't because all the groups have 5 people. No, 3 people? I can't remember. I think there was either 4 or 6 groups. There's like 24 students in the class. And I was like, I know that I don't want to do this because it's basically they were done in, I don't know, that one class period, and we were supposed to use like the next month, not next month, but next, I don't know, maybe a week or 2, working on it for half the class period. And they're like, no, let's just do this. And they realized, oh wait, this is really, and he even put on the board that if you build a bridge like this, it's going to bend down, and when it touches the bottom, because basically they said, it won't break. I can tell you right now, your bridge won't break, but it's just going to bow, and when it bows and that bottom of it touches the scale, because they use the scale to see how much pressure the bridge would break before it actually snapped. They didn't keep taking it to the breaking point, they just kept doing it until it got to a point where like, okay, it's about to break completely, so they didn't do that. And then they used that. Sorry, I was going into a big long story about that science project we had. But he showed me Carl Sagan's Cosmos. It blew me away. I had no idea who Carl Sagan was. I knew nothing about it. The Cosmos show went beyond that because he showed us various things. I thought that was all it was until I got into college, I think. And my college professor in one of my I think it was astronomy classes I had to take, and he showed us the one where basically he says, if this is a ball of dark matter, you drop it, it would go to the Earth and keep going around, basically make the Earth look like Swiss cheese. If you're a fan of Carl Sagan, you probably know what I'm talking about this episode. And he showed us that. I was like, holy cow, that's the guy that was from those videos. Oh, wait a minute. And I actually went, this is during the time of Napster and everybody downloading all this stuff. I actually found them on LimeWire. Crap quality. I mean, they were less than, I think it was 240p. I mean, maybe 144. But it was horrible quality. But I downloaded the entire Cosmos series, and I watched it, and I loved it. And I remember when they re-released Cosmos, or no, I think I downloaded the re-release. I didn't see it when it originally aired. I can't remember. I don't mean the new ones were Neil deGrasse. Oh God, I forgot his name. I think it's his name. Him and, of all people, Seth MacFarlane. Holy cow, Seth MacFarlane actually was like, hey, let's do this. I was like, I can't believe that he did that. But I'm very thankful that he did, because that's something that the The new ones are really good too. I prefer the old ones. That's just because it's what I remember watching, but the new ones are really good too. If you need better animations and things like that. But I remember trying to find my phone because there's actually something I was going to look up. Oh shoot, what do I do with it? Here it is. But Carl Sagan, I remember when he, shoot, trying to open up a thing I was going to see. I'm trying to remember when he passed. He passed in 96. And I remember when I was actually looking at everything about him and all the things he had done, I remember I was like, I would actually like to meet him. And when I really discovered him and found out about him, he had already passed. And he had been dead. So I graduated high school in 97. Knew nothing about Carl Sagan then. And it's probably 2000, 99 or 2000 when I actually found out. So he had been dead 4 years, 4 or 5 years before I really knew. And then when I found out, it actually struck. I mean, it was actually something like somebody I had admired. I didn't know somebody I had admired. I actually saw when I was a kid and taught me a lot. I mean, the one video, because I mean, it took several days for us to watch the entire episode of this. This is episode 1 of Cosmos. That I wish I could have met him, and then to hear Neil deGrasse, I'm going to look that name up. I want to make sure that's his name because I don't want to, because he is actually another one of my heroes. Somebody I would love to meet. Neil deGrasse deGrasse. I think that's how it's said. Tyson, but I hope that's how it's said. If it's not, I'm very sorry. I actually remember seeing Neil deGrasse at Comic-Con in San Diego, and that's when I first heard about the new Cosmos. Somebody asked the question, is it true you and Seth MacFarlane are coming bringing Cosmos back out? And he said yes, and the entire audience was like erupted. I mean, I was like, oh my God, this is a dream come true. And especially with him, because I really like him. I'm a big fan of the things he does. He's very intelligent. I know people, he's posted things on Twitter that are, I think he didn't really think them completely through, but those are like but most of his tweets and everything are really well thought out, really good. But anyway, back to Carl Sagan. But Neil deGrasse actually gave an interview about him meeting Carl Sagan and how it was snowing out and how Carl Sagan gave Neil his home phone number, said if you can't get home, call me, I'll come and get you. I mean, the fact that he did all that, I mean, he seemed, I'm not really sure how to describe it. The feeling I got, just all the things I've heard about him, all the stuff I've read about him, he really seemed very genuine, and he wanted people to learn. He wanted to teach people, and he wanted, I mean, the Voyager project, to me, is phenomenal. It was us, we're trying to communicate with possibly somebody else out there, and we basically put together a gold record with all the different sounds and languages from our world and shot it into space. Will anybody ever listen to it? I'll probably never know. I'd love it if we, don't get me wrong, in my opinion, I don't I don't think the question is there life in the universe? I believe we'll find plankton, I believe we'll find algae or something like that. I think the question should be, is there intelligent life? That I don't know. Will we find, I mean, if we find fish, in any time soon, like I mean like in 1,000 years, I mean I think that'd be lucky. I think that, or this is my personal feeling, I have no idea, I have no scientific evidence to back it up, but I do believe that in my lifetime, we may find it someday, it may evolve somewhere else eventually, I don't know, but I don't believe in my lifetime we'll ever find intelligent life. And if you are an intelligent life form, would you really want to come to Earth? I mean, we've been I mean, the things that we had shot off into space broadcasting. I mean, the first thing was the Hitler's speech, where he's like the thing. So, or whatever he was doing, I can't remember. But that was one of the first things that was strong enough to go into deep space. And we have been doing that for a long time. So, if another alien civilization could pick those signals up and they saw us, would they really want to come meet us? Because you could kind of see the things that we have done. I don't know. I don't know if I would. But yeah, Carl Sagan, they shot out the Voyager project in hopes that we can make first contact with that. It was something that I remember when I remember actually reading about when it left our solar system, and it's the furthest thing that humans had ever sent out in space. And the idea of that to me is phenomenal. It's like, wow, you put together these scientists, we did all this, and it is so far away. I mean, you can't, it's one of those things like you can't, in your mind, I don't know if you can even grasp that distance, how far it's traveled. I mean, so things like the national debt and these bailouts that the government has paid to companies every time, that type of money, the amount of money they're talking about, when you start adding zeros to the end of a number, how big that number is. And then we're looking at these distances like to Pluto and to Uranus and Mars and Saturn or Jupiter. I mean, the distance that we have between these our planets and things. Yes, I understand Pluto's a planetoid now. It's just when I grew up, Pluto was a planet. But the distance that these things have to travel, I don't think it's something, I don't think I can. I mean, if I sit and think about it, I can think about, okay, on the opposite side of the Earth is, from where I am right now, I can't remember, but it's, okay, that's so many miles. Okay, I can picture from here to Florida, from here to California. I know it takes like so many hours to get to California on a plane. I know it takes like 16 hours to drive to Daytona Beach or wherever. And then, okay, I can say, okay, well that's this many miles, it's going to take this amount of time to drive there. If you could drive there, if you got to drive over the ocean. But when you look at these distances that it takes, like spaceships or whatever you would call a Voyager project, if you want to call it a spaceship or not, or shuttle or whatever, the time it takes for that thing to get there versus the distance, I can't, in here, it doesn't, I can't fathom it. It's just something that's beyond me, I think. I understand, okay, this is a number, but distance-wise I can't. But Mel Pay says, don't meet your heroes. But Carl Sagan is a hero I wish I could meet. And I want to say I would love to meet Neil deGrasse also. But the only problem is that I wouldn't want him to know that he was my second choice, because that's kind of a bad thing to say, because the person but I don't know, the people that are my heroes, I never thought of like sports stars or rock singers or movie stars. They were never really my heroes. I enjoyed watching them. Enjoyed watching them play basketball or sing or play music. But I could never say I thought of them as a hero or idolized them. Or looking up to them. I never really did that. The people I always looked up to were more like scientists, things like that. There was Carl Sagan, and later on Neil deGrasse. What was his name? I think he was Japanese. Michio Kaku, if I'm not mistaken. That may be wrong. But those people are my heroes. And those are the type of heroes I think we need more of. It's right now when you look at I'm not going to name any names of any sports stars or anything like that. A lot of the times I think I don't know, a lot of people are correct when they say don't meet your heroes, because they're human. Everybody's human. Or we're all human is a better way to say it. And we all make mistakes. And you may meet somebody that you look up to and maybe they're in a bad mood or whatever, or they're doing things that you didn't know they did, and it can really crush you. And I'm lucky that the person I've looked up to, I really can't say he did anything that crushes me or makes me not want to look up to him. Sorry. This is a very long video about me talking about Carl Sagan, and then kind of give some examples of my past of science class. But yeah. Carl Sagan, Neil deGrasse, Michio Kaku. I believe that's his name. If it's not, sorry about that. But anyways, hope you guys have a good day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.